They said, oh, if we could settle it for under 100,000, we'll work with you. Obviously, the case was worth a lot more than that. So unfortunately, we had to litigate. Where this case really came to a head, where they realized they had a huge problem, was about 2 months or 3 months before trial. We did their expert and personal PMQ, or person most knowledgeable, person most qualified depositions. During those depositions, we were able to establish that on that property, there were about 50 similar grates or similar manhole covers. And out of 50, 49 of them were properly bolted. In fact, we were able to get history of the repairs and the work that was done in this location, including the build out. We had our experts go examine it. It was very expert heavy, I'll say that much. Experts determined that whoever repaired this, and the only person that had authority to repair it would have been the state of California or CalTrans, didn't properly seal it. In fact, after this incident, they weren't able to properly bolt this manhole cover down. They had to weld it shut, which establishes that, hey, this thing was like this long enough to where it damaged the bolts. And had somebody properly been examining it, did their job, they should have either bolted it down before, or they should have welded it shut before, or taken other action to prevent this exact injury from happening. One of the procedures that certain courts have, and this case was out in Bakersfield, that this court had was what's called a mandatory settlement conference in front of a trial judge. Not the trial judge that sits in our case, but the trial judge, that another different trial judge in the courtroom that sits down with all parties to see if they can settle it. When the trial judge heard obviously evidence that was briefed to him in writing prior to the MSC, he understood that we had a very, very serious case here. The injuries were serious, and the state's exposure was very high. The state came in obviously with their lowball offers, and after about 4.5 hours, we came to an end, and we were able to settle this case for $1.5 million. Settled at a mandatory settlement conference about a month before trial.